Sam, how you doing, mate?
Hello. Aye, not too bad after that new league. Can't believe that. I'm just watching T-Rex making mistakes on Match of the Day pick for.
It's I seen a bit of that earlier. It's mental, isn't it? It's just you watch that game and it's more of a surprise now if Pickford doesn't make a mistake than if he does.
He's got more chance of catching a fucking goal, that cunt, I tell you. It's ridiculous. It's laughable he can't catch a ball to save his life.
But he'll still be England's number one next week now, won't he?
Aye. But I don't care. We got 3 points. That's all that matters to me, Lee.
Right, this isn't England fan TV or Everton fan TV. We're
No.
Newcastle fan TV, and Newcastle
That's
won
all.
3-1 tonight. Was that good enough for you? Were you happy with that performance?
I was happy, like, again, as Andy said earlier, for 75 minutes, that second half, 15 minutes when they scored, I thought we're going to revert back to Bruce type and hang on for a point for the second 45 minutes. And I thought, again, St. Maximum took the game by the scruff of the neck and said, no, we're going to win the day.
Mm.
You know, and obviously it makes so much difference when you've got a goal scorer up front who knows where the back of the net is. I mean, last season we would have just been sitting here thinking, nah, Joe Linton's going to miss, he's going to miss, or Carroll's going to miss. No, now Wilson's going to score.
Mm.
That's the difference. And when he scored that penalty, you just knew he was going to score. You knew he wasn't going to miss. He's just confident. Loses it. That's what, for 20 million quid, as I said earlier, bargain.
4-4 now for Callum Wilson. What a start with his Newcastle career, eh?
Right. Considering last season our top scorer's got 6 goals in the league all season, was it Shelby and Almiron? I mean,
Yeah, Shelby, I'd say.
he should beat that without breaking a sweat, really.
Beat it by the end of October, you'd hope, really.
Well, you'd like to hope so. Like, obviously, he stays fit and all that, you know, like our injury records, like, but never mind.
You see there, I'm just watching Brucey. Obviously, I've got the sound on, but you see Brucey with a smile on his face in the background on Sky there, looking a bit smug. And then in his conferences building up to the week, he's talking about, I'm criticised wrongly. I'm building something here, and it's unfair, and it's always at us in Newcastle. What do you make of that?
Talking shit. Couldn't build a sandcastle, him, man. He's done now all week, boss. He's done now all week, boss. Flag the fans off because we've had a go at the way we're playing. Well, I'm sorry, like, but we up until the night 3 shots in 3 games. Why can't we criticise? You've had 100 million quid's worth thrown at you by Mike Ashley to improve your attacking options, and also we've had Carroll and Fraser come in on a free. I mean, he's got no excuses. I mean, you keep saying I've played the same formation for the first 6 or 7 games. Well, that's another bullshit now because he played 4-4-2 in the 2 opening league games, 4-3-3 in the League Cup, and 5-4-1 at Spurs. And he's gone 4-2-3-1 tonight. I mean,
does he know what he's doing?
He just doesn't know what he's doing. How can you say you played the same formation when you haven't? And then he compared himself to Klopp and Wolsey and all. He doesn't have this much going on. I just don't know if he's hit the source too early or what, because that was just that was a heat gone moment. That.
Do you know what it is now? Like on paper, and this is what outsiders will look at when they're not watching Newcastle. Like Newcastle fans like us who watch 90 minutes every game. If you were tuning the match of the day tonight, and you see we're 6th in the league, we're through the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, they'll be thinking, well, what they're winning at. But it's
you cannot judge a league position after 4 games. And I mean, the draws we've had in the Carabao Cup, obviously we've had Morecambe, which was a cakewalk, and we should really have got knocked out by Newport, really. So, I mean, that's another thing. In the cup runs in the 9 months that, like, since we've obviously had FA Cups and that, League Cups, we've obviously had Rochdale, took us extra time. I mean, replay, sorry. Oxford took us to a replay in extra time. And then we obviously had Newport take with penalties. I mean, like the teams we've put in them games should be good enough to win 90 minutes. Don't care what they say. 90 minutes and the game should be done. But yeah, again, we made it so. And then we played West Brom reserves as well. Practically, when they're 3-0 up, we're still nearly through the way. And people are, you can't. I mean, I don't get what people say that it's rosy for, because there's a lot of cracks that everyone sees that we see, and media doesn't, because they just see like the highlights. They don't see the full game, you know.
And then one of the last interviews we had was the Brighton game where when we're talking about, St. Maximin, that's probably the worst game we've seen him play for Newcastle. He did look uninterested. Yeah. He wasn't fit. He came off. Tonight was a different story. Obviously, he was man of the match. He still came off with an injury, but
he was the one that had the balls to say it. Like, I'm going to win this game for tonight. I mean, he's better. Like most players, he's better. Obviously, on the front foot, and he's not a defensive player. That's what the problem was in that game. Bruce set up defensively a defensive 4-4-2, and obviously didn't do his research, and that's what happens. But tonight, obviously, he put 4-2-3-1, and he's just. I mean, like as I think Andy said earlier, Burnley were the perfect team because they haven't won a game. They've looked pretty shoddy in the games I've seen them in the highlights. Like, they haven't looked anything like the rugby style that they play, and that's what they ended up resorting to second half. You could say they were just happy to take the players out, and that's why Maximum went off. But I think it was the perfect game tonight. If we were playing, say, a top four side, it would have been, oh shit. But because we were playing a team that's lacking so much confidence, like West Ham were at the time, we've played them at the right time, if you get what I'm saying. But obviously, we still had to go out there and beat them, and we did pretty comfortably after in the end.
Pasty guy said there in the last interview, like, deadline days on Monday. Hopefully, there's no late offers for St. Maximin.
I'm worried.
How long do you reckon he'll stay for St. Maximin? Because obviously we said that after the Brighton game. Will he still be here next week? Will he still be here next season?
I think he'll stay now. I'm more worried for Almiron because of him not playing. I hope to God we didn't get rid of him, because I believe still haven't seen the best of him. I still believe he's got more in the locker. And to think, could you imagine this time last season where we were saying, oh, we've got a £20 million player sitting on the bench? I mean,
true,
but not coming on at all. It's like, how can you help? When was the last time we had a luxury like that? So again, Bruce has got no excuse again there, because like obviously Fraser came on, and I thought it did well to win the penalty. And I think, like I said, I'm more worried for Almiron, get a bid for him, because I think if he's not figuring off, something's gone on. There's every chance Bruce might just say, "Well, we'll take an offer for him." I think we definitely need a centre back though. Again, like Pasty guy said, why loan Lejeune out when it seems to me Shaw's just as injury prone? I mean, you could have loaned them both and signed 2 more centre backs on loan to cover them, but obviously, but Shaw's in the last year of his contract, so whether he stays beyond this season's another matter.
We'll wait and see. Cheers, mate. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
2 weeks off, new thankful.
2 weeks off, stress free.
Cheers. Catch you later.
Yeah.